Media Days is sponsored by Huntsville Trucks.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely rolling to the end of the 2025 edition of SEC Media Days. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Carl Prather, and thanks so much for everyone joining us throughout the week on our digital platforms across WAFF TV in North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley. We truly appreciate your support. We truly appreciate our sponsor for this week's festivities and coverage in Huntsville Trucks. They've been a fantastic partner throughout this week as we get you prepared for the start of the college football season. Today was Alabama Day. The Auburn Tigers were the headliner on Tuesday. Today was all about the Crimson Tide and head coach Kalen DeBoer. Kalen brought 3 student athletes with him today as they all discuss the expectations that you would imagine if you are an Alabama football player, fan, or part of that program as they get ready for the start of the 2025 season. We had a lot of questions, most of them are pertaining to the quarterback position, and rightfully so. No starter named just yet for Coach DeBoer in his second season at the helm for the Crimson Tide. 3 young men all vying for that respective QB1 job. Keelan Russell, the true freshman Gatorade National Player of the Year at quarterback in the fray. Ty Simpson, a 4-year player within the Tide organization, also in the mix. And Austin Mack. People remember Austin on that team from a year ago as a freshman, made the decision to move from Washington along with then head coach Kalen DeBoer and move to become a part of the Crimson Tide recruiting class from a year ago as a former Husky recruit there. So 3 players all looking to try to become the starter for Kalen DeBoer. Kalen had an opportunity to discuss all 3 young men as they prepare for battle and that competition within the quarterback room heading into fall camp.
So you want all 3 of them to have the success, but just a lot of feelings that we had what we needed, or that what probably better the way it's put it is that what we felt was out there really wasn't that much better than what we had, if at all.
Thank you so much, Camden. When we come back, we'll hear from you.
Super cool to hear from Coach DeBoer discussing that. Of course, the transfer portal is a thing in this day and age of college football and the landscape, and rosters can be changed rather quickly, can be elevated across the country with respective programs in leagues across the country. So Kalen DeBoer decided, hey, we are not going to try to test those transfer portal waters. We have 3 guys we believe that can help get the job done for the Crimson Tide of Alabama this season. Coming up tonight at 10, you can watch all of our newscasts on air and online on WAFF.com. We will have a one-on-one conversation with Coach Kalen DeBoer as we dive more into the program as a whole as he prepares for his second season on the capstone. We also had SWAC Media Days, and we had North Alabama's United Athletic Conference Media Days as well. Let's touch base with Alabama A&M. The Bulldogs and first-year head coach Sam Shade in the house down in Birmingham, a little bit closer to home from Atlanta for us. But the Bulldogs there for SWAC Media Days as they prepare for their respective season. We had an opportunity to hear from Coach Shade earlier this afternoon as you would imagine, an excited head coach to prepare for his first season within the league.
The first thing, I've liked the buy-in that the team has had as a whole. The guys are really trying to do and execute what we're asking them to do, and they're trying to follow our plan. So when you got buy-in and you got the trust of the players, it gives you a chance. So that's been huge.
Yeah, Coach Shade has been just absolutely incredible the first couple of months as the head coach for the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M, really putting these guys to work on the hill there as he prepares for his first season within the SWAC. Plenty of content from Coach Shade on our websites and on our Sports Zone app as well as we prepare for the start of the college football season. Can't forget North Alabama. They had their own conference media days, the United Athletic Conference. For those that are new or familiar to the area, North Alabama, an FCS program, Division I in all sports, now in the United Athletic Conference after moving from the Atlantic Sun. Head coach Brent Dearman and company made the trek to the Music City to discuss their upcoming season as they aim to try to make some inroads within that conference, and you never know, potentially bring home a conference championship and a berth into the FCS playoffs. So exciting times for Coach Dearman, exciting times for North Alabama as a whole, right? The Lions are about to open up a new stadium a year from now, so the fervor for Lions football at an all-time high, with a lot of excitement, with some changes coming up from that program in Florence. Once again, want to send a big shout out to Huntsville Trucks. They've been fantastic throughout the week. Our sponsor for all things SEC, SWAC, and College Football Media Days this week. We truly appreciate their loyalty, but more importantly, we appreciate the teamwork involved to try to make this happen for our viewers on air and online. Been a fun week thus far. One more day to go here at SWAC at SEC Media Days. You know, you have a lot of media days. They all run together, especially the days here when you got 16 teams you're dealing with here and 2 more closer to home. But yeah, one more day here in Atlanta. SEC Media Days will come to a close, and then all that's left is fall camp, and before you know it, in about 6 Saturdays, we'll have college football. So I know everyone is excited for that. AJ Weiss has been fantastic as our host in our 48 Now Center throughout the week as well. Fantastic job, young man. It's been fun, to say the least, for SWAC Media Days, SEC Media Days, United Athletic Conference Media Days, college football. It's here. We're just weeks away, AJ.
Yes, sir. It certainly sounds like you're staying busy out there this week. I want to touch on Alabama first. You heard from 2 different defensive players for the Crimson Tide today, along with Coach DeBoer. Where would you say this Alabama defense this year ranks among the rest of the SEC?
That's a great question. You know, Deontay Lawson discussed the confidence along with Tim Keenum III. They believe they potentially could be one of the better defenses within the league. Tim hoping to anchor and man the defensive line there on the nose, and nose tackle, defensive tackle there. And Deontay Lawson, remember, Tide fans remember he got injured during the year a season ago. Didn't know if he would return due to him being an elite NFL draft prospect. So that was up in the air, and Deontay discussed that earlier today, but made the decision after a long rehab with that lower body injury to find a way to come back to Tuscaloosa and T-Town and finish out his career before he heads to the National Football League. But the big sticking point for me, AJ, and for those watching online across the Valley, leadership. I think the familiarity with each other, for the familiarity with Coach Kane Womack on the defensive side of the football as a defensive coordinator, and just the staff as a whole, a little bit better than it was a year ago when you have a new staff there. But Deontay Lawson really discussed, much like his peers have discussed with him, that he is the in-question leader on that defense, and just an amazing talent there in the middle of the defense, asked to do so much across the board with that front seven. But he has embraced being a leader, and credited his parents, which was really cool. His mom and his dad and his extended family for helping him cultivate those leadership qualities as he prepares for this upcoming season at Alabama.
And also, what about the other side of the ball? I know you heard from Caden Proctor today, offensive lineman. How's he feeling about the offense this year?
Yeah, you know, Caden is very excited, of course, as an offensive lineman and a highly touted prospect coming in, aiming to be one of the highly coveted prospects heading into the NFL draft if he so chooses to enter the draft next year. Discussing the quarterbacks. Listen, a lot of the questions today from a surface level from media members was about the quarterback. And we know how important that position is. Caden had a chance to address that. He discussed Ty Simpson, and Ty kind of staying true to the Crimson Tide and the program. 4-year player has an opportunity to have a chance to start after waiting his turn, which is kind of rare in college football now. We all know how busy the transfer portal is throughout the season. But Ty decided to stick it out, deciding to compete this season and in fall camp. You would think maybe if, you know, with us not knowing much inside that building, you would think that he may have an inside track there heading into fall camp to potentially win the job. I don't think he's won the job by any means. He'll have to go and win it in camp here in a couple of weeks. But he'll be pushed by Austin Mack, and he'll be pushed by the true freshman in Keelan Russell as well. But I'm really impressed with Caden Proctor discussing Ty and just basically saying, hey, Ty has been here 4 years. He knows what to do, and now it's all about trying to execute that to try to become QB1 heading into the fall.
Absolutely. And with all that said, what are your expectations for Coach DeBoer as he's entering into his second season at the helm for the Tide?
You know, on surface level, I just find it hard to believe that Alabama isn't in the mix for a college football playoff berth or an SEC championship. Obviously, we know that the quarterback position is very important. You'll learn a lot about this team early on in the first couple of quarters of the season. They'll travel to Tallahassee, Florida, and take on the Seminoles of Florida State. First time for the Alabama program to go on campus to play Florida State on the road. Listen, we don't know what Florida State will look like on the field. Anyone that tells you that they do know is completely wrong. What we do know is that Gus Malzahn will be the offensive play caller there for offensive coordinator. Boston College's former quarterback Thomas Castellanos will be there under center. On defense, you got some guys that have made some plays in spots, maybe not as consistent as college football fans may remember. As guys like Patrick Payton are gone there now at LSU, but you got some defensive guys there that could potentially help them as well. Same thing on offense. We just don't know. We don't know what this looks like relative to the turnover in roster with Florida State and head coach Mike Norvell. So yes, it is going to be a hostile environment. It's going to be rabid. Whether it's Ty Simpson, Keelan Russell, or Austin Mack, how to withstand that, make winning plays consistently on the road will be key, and allow some of your playmakers and dynamic playmakers on offense to kind of help you there and let the defense kind of go and hunt, as they like to say, as well, to kind of keep them in the football game as well. So overall, I think anyone and everyone will believe that Alabama, they'll start in the top 5 or top 6 in preseason polls for whatever those are worth as we head into the regular season. But I think anything less than a college football playoff berth, whether it's an automatic bid with an SEC championship or an at-large bid, would be maybe somewhat of a disappointment relative to the influx of talent, playmakers, veterans that have been on this team as well, trying to attempt to do just that heading into this year.
And Carl, you also heard from Mississippi State, Florida, and Oklahoma. What are your thoughts about them this season? Do you expect improvements from any of them this year?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Jeff Lebby, kind of followed his career throughout college football, previous play caller for the Oklahoma Sooners. Obviously a tough situation trying to come into Starkville, recruiting, trying to build what you like to call culture, but more importantly, fittable prospects in your organization to be able to try to make State a winner yet again. Tough road for him, only 2 wins a year ago, still trying to continue to build that. Once again, another one of those teams that you really just don't know. Some of their better players no longer there within that program, including one Mario Craver, who was outstanding now elsewhere. But Blake Shapen is back. Had to deal with an injury. Seems like he is healthy. We had an opportunity to hear from him today. Listen, if you got a quarterback, you have an opportunity to stay in games and be competitive. I think Jeff Lebby, man-to-man, would let anyone know that, hey, this is not a finished product here. We are continuing to try to grow, build, and continue to develop this program to the liking that Jeff Lebby is conducive to being able to be around, and that's championship-winning football from his previous stops. So interested to see just where they continue to grow as we head into his second season. Florida, listen, has an incredible signal caller, a youngster that appears to have all of the tools in one, DJ Lagway. Billy Napier excited about DJ, but he also mentioned, which was really key, DJ didn't know what you didn't know coming into this the previous year. Kind of got thrusted in there, wasn't expected to maybe have that significant of playing time, even though fans of the Gator Nation wanted to maybe see DJ a little bit earlier. But a full off season, obviously dealing with some injury issues, trying to get that squared away as he gets ready for fall camp this season. But listen, Florida has a bear of a schedule, folks. I think anyone can go look on their phones and understand it is a really tough road for Billy Napier and company as they prepare for this upcoming season. But listen, they have some dynamic playmakers as well, maybe some names that we may not have heard of if you're not a diehard college football fan. But listen, I think they're going to be competitive. And when you, once again, if you have a guy in this league that can make plays at that position at quarterback, you got an opportunity to be in football games. Of course, the rest of it has to happen as well on offense and defense, but not a bad start to have DJ Lagway at the helm heading into this season.
We have the commissioners
Well, Carl, with today in the books, only one more to go for SEC Media Days. Tomorrow, you'll hear from Mizzou, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. Thank you, as always, for joining. And if you're watching at home right now, thank you for tuning in to our SEC Media Days coverage. Now in day 3, again, it is all sponsored by Huntsville Trucks. Y'all have a great night.